Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear fellows. Myself Rabia Slim, and I am here to present a topic from X-ray diffraction techniques, lecture 3.6. Topic of my presentation is neutron diffraction. First of all, let's discuss the process of neutron diffraction. Neutron diffraction occurs mainly due to two factors. First factor is nuclei in the crystals, and second one is the magnetic interaction between the atoms or ions in crystal and neutrons that is present between neutron and unpaired electron in the crystal. In both the above mentioned cases, the atom have magnetic moment or neutron scattering from the electron. Next is the difference between XRD and neutron diffraction techniques. There are mainly 5 points. First point is that in neutron diffraction, neighbors and isotopes can be discriminated, while in X-ray diffraction, neighbors and isotopes cannot be discriminated. Light elements can be detected in neutron diffraction, while in XRD, light elements hard to detect. In neutron diffraction, magnetic structures can be investigated, while in XRD, magnetic properties cannot be investigated thoroughly. Fourth point is long scan time is required for neutron diffraction technique, while in XRD it operates mainly on lower time scan. Fifth one is the lower availability of neutron diffraction, while in XRD it is highly available. Next is the difference between electron diffraction technique and neutron diffraction technique. First point is electron diffraction is very common for investigating crystals, while neutron diffraction is ideal only to reveal the crystal structure and magnetic structure. Second point is electron diffraction has a magnetic moment of 1 and not applicable for revealing magnetic structure, while neutron diffraction has a magnetic moment of 0.001. Electrons are strongly scattered by atomic electrons, while there is no electrostatic interaction with atomic electron in neutron diffraction. Electrostatic interaction only is a stronger interaction, while there is only weaker interaction present in neutron diffraction. In the next slides, we will discuss different modes in neutron scattering. There are different modes in neutron scattering, that is nuclear scattering and magnetic scattering. First one is nuclear scattering. It involves the interaction of a neutron with a point light that is much smaller than the wavelength of the object between the nucleus and the object, so the scattering is isotropic. In the magnetic scattering, it involves the interaction of a neutron with the extended atomic electron distribution. So from this factor, it is more likely seems to be X-ray diffraction, and it falls off quite rapidly with the angle. The scattering which takes place due to interaction between the magnetic moment of spin of the neutron and magnetic moment of atom. Magnetic scattering takes place in the transition metals mostly due to the presence of unpaired electrons. Magnetic scattering is also associated with the electronic cloud surrounded around a tiny nucleus. The magnetic scattering length is comparable to the nuclear scattering length. It means that the magnetic and nuclear signals have comparable strength. Next is nuclear neutron scattering and magnetic neutron scattering difference on the basis of elastic and inelastic scattering. If elastic neutron scattering is present in nuclear scattering, it is diffraction of the crystal structure. If it is inelastic in nature, it is excitation of the phonons. In magnetic scattering, if the condition is elastic scattering, it is diffraction of the spin structure, which later leads to ferromagnetic anti-ferromagnetic magnetic moments or direction of the spins. If it is inelastic neutron scattering, it causes excitation of magnons. Next, we have a schematic diagram showing at the right of the slide there is a research reactor which produces these neutrons, beams and these neutron beams are fallen on a crystal on the powder sample, which is after striking the sample are scattered at different angles and form out diffraction patterns. After passing through the sample and after scattering from the atom present in that sample, these are then collected by the detectors, and then after collection of neutron diffraction pattern, different kind of softwares are used for the determination of structure of a crystalline sample. There is a basic model which is showing the neutrons with different kind of energies. These energies coming from the reactor, and after striking the sample, these are scattered at certain angles, and their energies also changes, and the change in energy can be taken as by the equations written on the top right side of the slide. So the momentum is equal to hk, whereas energy can be calculated by the equation that is h square k square for 2mn. Measure the number of scattered neutrons as a function of q and omega. The result is the scattering function, that is s function of q and omega, that depends only on the properties of the sample. All we need to do is to prepare a neutron beam with a wavelength k naught and measure the intensity of neutrons scattered with wave vector k. Next is type of neutrons, that is elastic scattering and inelastic scattering neutrons. If it is elastic scattering neutrons, there will be no energy transfer from the sample or to the sample. It measures crystal structure atomic correlation in liquid or glass. In inelastic scattering, energy transfer occur from or to the sample. It is measurement of lattice vibration, phonons, atomic diffusion, molecular modes. Elastic scattering changes direction but not the magnitude of the wave vector, while inelastic scattering changes both direction as well as magnitude of the neutron wave vector. Next is the spin polarized neutron. If we want to investigate thin film via this method, then we have to use polarized neutron reflectometry. Individual neutron has given the spin half and angular momentum plus minus h/2. If we apply an external field, there are only two possible orientations of neutron, that is parallel or anti-parallel to the field. It can be seen in the diagram that upper spin has the upward direction while the lower spin has the downward direction. Upper spin direction has an angular momentum of positive 1/2 h, while the lower spin has an angular momentum of negative half h. This polarization can be expressed in scalar form as P is equal to n plus minus n negative divided by n plus n negative. Here n plus and n negative are the number of spin up and spin down neutrons respectively. Now P can be expressed as P is equal to F minus 1 divided by F plus 1, where F is the ratio between n positive and n negative, which is called the flipping ratio, and this is a measurable quantity in scattering experiment. Next is the spin flip and non-spin flip scattering. At any reasonable temperature, field nuclear moments are oriented randomly at each side in a material. So the interaction of neutrons with this array of random vectors lead to incoherent scattering. If nuclear moment is perpendicular to neutron polarization vector, then neutron moment is flipped by scattering event. If it is parallel to the polarization vector, then there will be no flip occur. Spin flip scattering has twice the intensity of non-spin flip scattering. Here is the diagrammatic view of the spin flip. So spin flip, that is downward in direction and upward in direction, are shown here. Spin flip is shown on the left side, while the non-spin flip occurs is shown on the right side of the slide. Next slide we will discuss what is ferromagnetic nature. For a ferromagnet, the applied field determines both the nuclear spin quantization axis and the electron spin direction. so they become parallel to each other and no spin flip occurs. However, if the applied field in any general direction is scattering the plane, both the spin flip and non-spin flip scattering take place. Antiferromagnet. For antiferromagnetic materials, the applied field does not decide the electron spin direction as it describes in ferromagnet, so the neutron spin quantization axis is not necessarily parallel to the electron spin direction. Thus, the entire scattering is mostly spin flip in nature. Magnetic structure of manganese oxide is shown in figure 3.19, where antiferromagnetic superstructure of manganese oxide, ferric oxide and nickel oxide showing pseudo cubic unit cell for which it is supercell and sub, subcell, subcell oxygen positions are not shown in the diagram. Manganese oxide, nickel oxide and ferric oxide order antiferromagnetically. After taking into account the unpaired spins, the magnetic unit cell as the atomic arrangement may suggest. Powder neutron diffraction data for manganese oxide. It is shown in figure 3.20. Extra peaks are not present in neutron diffraction below a particular temperature. This particular temperature is called the Néel temperature. At this temperature, the unpaired spins are ordered. These extra lines are called superlattice lines, which carries the signature of the spin ordering. Reasons for this are neutrons have magnetic moments, so largely scattered by magnetic moments of electrons. Second is all diffraction methods are sensitive to symmetry of the material. Third is so neutron diffraction pattern of an antiferromagnet is different above and below the Néel temperature. Applications of neutron diffraction. It has certain applications in different fields: chemistry, biochemistry, engineering, life sciences, geological sciences, material sciences, and archaeology. Applications of neutron diffraction. It is used for the determination of structure, locating light elements like hydrogen and helium, heavy atoms that absorb X-rays strongly, similar atomic numbers that are called isotopes, magnetic properties of atoms, single crystal studies analysis. Existing research shows study of microstructure in complex micromolecular fluids, structure of thin film system, atomic arrangement in nanoparticles, superconductivity in magnesium bromide, location of proton in biomolecular crystals, the temperature dependence of resistance of amorphous carbon, structure determination of evaporated pure amorphous silicon. Advantages. First one is nuclear and magnetic interactions are of similar strength in neutron diffraction technique. Isotopic sensitivity it penetrates samples containments. It is sensitive for bulk and buried structures. Its simple interpretation provides statistical averages, not single instances. Its wavelength is similar to interatomic spacing. Its energy is also similar to the thermal energy in matter. We can also reveal the spin structure of complex system where the spins are aligned at an angle less than 180 degree. It is applicable also for parasitic ferromagnetic material where the two sublattice give small magnetization. Limitation of these techniques are it is difficult to focus, so unfavorable for nanoscale magnetism research, but polarized neutron reflectometry can be used for thin film. Second is figure of merit is defined by the product of respective atomic interaction, cross section, the available incident flux and square of the magnetic contrast. Due to small incident flux, The figure of merit is less for small sample areas. Availability of neutron is very difficult because we need nuclear fission reaction. If the spin axes are normal to the plane of reflection, then no magnetic scattering takes place. Only nuclear scattering will be there. Thank you very much for listening to me and giving me your time. Thank you.